Hey guys, oh my gosh. Okay, so this is the first video I'm filming this year. Happy New Year. I hope you guys had a nice, safe, fun, enjoyable, relaxing New Year. We had a toddler, so you know, it wasn't much of a break, but we did do lots of fun family things, lots of walks, lots of parks, you know, toddler things. If I'm honest, I'm really needing this right now, like just routine, work, makeup, glam. I've been feeling not like myself. I am on my period, so it's probably partly due to that. But also I don't know, I just felt like a bit, I don't know, strange. And I actually just think it's because I haven't filmed a video in 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm really looking forward to just sitting down and chatting with you guys today. And I was gonna make my first video, my favorites of 2024. But actually, like, I just am not in the mindset for like anything too, not scripted, scripted is the wrong word, you know, like organized. You know, I don't want to think. Whack on some makeup and chat to you guys. I've got a couple of talking points here, like New Year's resolutions, makeup ins and outs, how my last year's New Year's resolution went, and just a little update about my dog's health as well. I feel like using a sponge today. I've just done my hair, I've just done a bit of a tan, and I'm already feeling a bit better. Here's the sponge before and after. I just gave it a quick wash with some Exo Beauty brush soap as well. It's not perfect, hello. But we're looking a bit cleaner. As you can see, I've got a whole lot of breakouts right now, and honestly, like half of them were my own fault. Like, you know, you just start picking. I start picking at nothing. You know, there's like a barely anything little thing there, and my brain just tells me to pick at it. It's like a toxic trait of mine when I'm feeling anxious or stressed or just whatever the case may be, and I end up giving myself literal like wounds and infections, and probably looks worse than it is. I feel like I'm fine to wear makeup, so I want to make sure that I've washed this because you don't want to be spreading bacteria with your brushes and your sponges. The fake tan I've put on is like clung to the skin and made it look even worse, but that's okay. It is what it is. I'm a little bit worried, so let's start with my dog's health. Lots of you guys have been following me for years and years, and if you haven't, like, welcome. But most of you know I've got a dog called Zeus. I've had him for, I think it'll be like 13 years this year, is it? I'm real bad with dates. I couldn't even tell you the date that me and Hamish got together. Like, how many years have you and Hamish been together? Don't know. About the same amount of time as I've had Zeus. Zeus has had really bad skin. If you've been following me on my vlog channel, you've probably heard all of these updates, but I'll just do a quick like recap. I'm just gonna put on my makeup while I talk, otherwise this video will be ridiculous. I mean, why do I say that in every video? They always are. Hello, if you're here, you're enjoying watching long form content, hopefully, so let's just stop with that. I'm gonna mix together some of this because when I used this in the other video, I went on and looked at some like tutorials afterwards, and people were mixing it with their foundation or using it like primer, you know, like this beforehand. I'm gonna try mixing it in. I might actually just do a little bit over the breakouts though, just to like smooth the skin a little. I feel like using this Studio Fix fluid. Might be a little bit pale, but that's alright. We'll use some bronzer. I just mixed it on the back of my hand and then applied it with that brush. Transferred it over with the brush really. Let's see what this looks like. Anyways, I need way more than this. What am I thinking? He's been having allergies for like a few months now, and first like he had these little sores on his skin, and then he had really raw armpits and feet, and he was like itching them obviously with his mouth, and he was just like uncomfortable, and then his skin was getting quite red and raw. So obviously by that point we'd taken him into the vet and he was like, yeah, it's allergies. And so he had a cream, he had I think an injection, all sorts of different medication, blah blah blah. But over the like New Year's break, Zeus, he had like a really sore bottom, he had really bad like armpits and stuff again. Like the medications just aren't really working for some reason, which I guess it's like obviously humans too, like there's certain antihistamines and allergy medications that don't work for everyone, or like some are more effective or less effective. So basically now the vet has suggested that we try him on steroids to help him feel better. I literally feel like it's all my fault for some reason, even though it's not my fault. You know, it's like a kid, like you have a kid and you take it all on, and you just feel like obviously you're responsible for them. And even though like I can't control him getting allergies, like I feel horrible. Like I feel like I'm failing him. Have any of you guys dealt with this type of thing before with your pets? I would love to know. He said he might gain weight, and Zeus already has an issue with his weight. He always has. Like when he was like a puppy, he was like a healthy weight, but he's always just gradually like gained weight, and he's been on weight loss food his whole adult life. Like I don't know if parvo has like stuffed up his metabolism a little bit or what, but like just nothing works. It's at the point where he's on like weight loss food and he has stuffle, and at one point a certain vet of ours was like cornering us, like show us how much you're giving him to eat, and we showed them and they were like there's no way, like if he was eating this much he'd be skinnier. And I'm like, well, I don't know what to tell you. We've run so many tests on him in the past. He's happy. Like he's a happy dog. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to like cover these breakouts. They are terrible. So the steroids might make him gain more weight, which worries me. It's like a catch-22 because the older he's getting, we can't take him on like the bigger walks like we used to. He gets way more sore doing walks, so we can only take him on smaller walks. He can't live with like raw skin, itchy skin. Do I try him on a different food? Like, but he's been on like the specific food for ages. Could it be a food allergy? I don't know. I would just love to hear from you guys, and like if you have any advice in terms of like, have you guys dealt with anything like this before? It's a tricky situation, but it is killing me to see him itchy and sore. I just wanted to give you an update because I've been talking about it a little bit and it's just what's going on in my life right now. I have no makeup look in mind right now, honestly. I just feel like feeling pretty at this stage. I love this concealer so much. Let's talk New Year's resolutions. I'm going to talk about what we did for New Year's over on my vlog channel a bit, because it wasn't anything exciting, to be fair. You're not missing out on anything. New Year's resolutions. So first I'll talk about last year's, which was, I did a video all about it, and it was basically eating real food, growing food, vegetables, meat, just focusing on nutrition, focusing on getting energy through foods and not eating as much like just takeout and processed food and like food that didn't make me feel good. And I definitely accomplished that. I had a couple of little moments where like Hamish and I were just eating quick and easy, but to give myself a little bit of grace and an excuse, it was often only when, you know, there was like a sickness in our household or whatever the case may have been. You know, we had gastro a couple of times, and we had you know, a couple of really bad colds, flus. Yeah, I'm pretty proud of that. I grew so much food. I definitely gave up a little bit during like winter, autumn. So this year I really want, as part of my New Year's resolution, it's like to keep up with that a bit better. Keep on top of the gardens, because I do so well in spring and then I get a bit overwhelmed when spring's over and I have to kind of like start fresh-ish. I ate probably more vegetables than I've ever eaten in my life last year. It's quite funny because if you look at my body compared to like previous years, you would think that I've probably been like real unhealthy, like some of the most unhealthy ever, because of the way my body looks. And this is the thing, you can't judge people based on what their body looks like, because I think last year was probably the healthiest I've ever eaten in my adult life. I think it was the least amount of times I've ever gone out to restaurants and the least amount of takeout I've bought. Literally Uber Eats, I reckon, I'm actually gonna check. So like years before, I would literally get Uber Eats like once or twice a week. I'm literally gonna have to download the app right now to check this. Last year, I'll count how many times. 1, 2, 8 times. And majority of it was fresh bowl, which is like my favorite. It's like, you know, salad with like the deep fried crunchy chicken on top. So it's like unhealthy, but not the worst nutritionally. At least you're still eating some like salads and vegetables. This is what I mean. Like I just try to focus on having vegetables, raw vegetables. I've gaslit myself into liking carrots and cucumbers in the last year, so I'm going to carry on trying to gaslight myself into liking other raw vegetables as well. I've like been eating raw cabbage, silver beet, kale, spinach, lettuce, carrot, cucumber, onion, so many things. Nutritionally, this year I want to grow more, like throughout the year. I mean, I'm already growing enough varieties of food, but just like throughout the year. And I want to continue cooking at home, not ordering out takeout much at all. By the way, Uber Eats, that's not the only time I had takeaway, okay? As if I only had takeaways 8 times. I definitely still will probably had takeout maybe 2 or 3 times a month other than that with like friends and family. But with just Hamish and I, we're pretty dang good, okay? We've been the best ever since we've friggin' been in a relationship, literally. That's big for me, okay? I know for heaps of people, this is just stupid, but for me, that's really good because we used to be so lazy when it came to cooking. We'd just like order out. Then we were really good when we were doing like HelloFresh, but then we stopped doing HelloFresh. I don't know, maybe I'd like to do HelloFresh again. I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna use this. My other New Year's resolution this year is to go back to how I used to be when it comes to manifestation and positivity. I have tried to be positive this last year, but negativity does get the better of me sometimes. I always try to preach to you guys to be positive and look on the bright side and everything, but I need to practice what I preach a little bit more this year. Since having a toddler and like going through some stuff, you know, when it comes to like illness and routines being disrupted and things, you know, like I'll finally get into like exercise and then boom, everyone gets friggin' gastro or whatever the case may be. Stuff like that happens so often with a toddler. If you've got a toddler or if you've had a toddler or if whatever, you know, if you know, you know. And I just, instead of just being like, it's all right, this will pass, like I feel like I get myself so wound up and I get really negative. And it really doesn't help anyone, you know? It doesn't help anyone when I'm just feeling like over it. I get so upset. Obviously, it's not a fun thing to happen. But at the end of the day, like, I just feel like I need to focus on positivity and like, you know, it's all right, it's just a blip in the road, we'll get back into it. Rather than being so negative and then just struggling to mentally be there once everything's kind of better. Like, I find myself just like not feeling like myself because I just let the negativity get to me and I just feel like, I don't know, kind of like how I was feeling before I started filming this video. I was so out of my routine and I just start feeling not like myself. Like it's funny, I'm like a routine person, but I'm not. I think I just love working. I think it's, you know, I love my me time when it comes to doing my work, putting on my makeup, doing my exercise. And so whenever anything disrupts that, even if it's summer holidays, New Year's and stuff, Christmas, it still affects me. Like I still feel not like myself. I don't feel good, but I just need to like look on the bright side. I need to stay positive. I need to manifest stuff again. I stopped manifesting. I used to always manifest, and I feel like just that positivity and that positive association with things and just putting things out into the world, like I actually think it makes a difference. I mean, some people think it's a load of crap. I don't. I genuinely feel like it just helps me move towards goals better. And I don't really know what goals I have right now. I think my biggest goal is just to focus on like exo beauty and stuff, and like, I don't know, we need to work on some new products, but it's just been really hard in this economy. Like I don't even know how we're making it through right now. Like, it's been a really rough couple years, recessions and all of that. So I'm just trying to like remain positive. Let's manifest. We've launched some amazing products like our lash serum and mascara just popping off. But I want to do some more like makeup and things, and a couple things like in the past like we've launched and things that I haven't been able to like give it a proper launch, and it does make a difference. So I don't know, I just need to be more present and yeah, positive. And does that make sense? It's been a funny couple years, it really has. That's one of my goals, is just to try to be positive. I'm still gonna be here, I'm still gonna be showing you the not so perfect life of me, because I think it's important to show you guys the not so perfect life, because too many people think that, you know, people online are just living their best lives all the time, and that's not true. So I still want to show that, but it's just going to be tricky when I'm trying to just be like positive about everything. But I want to keep things real as well. It's a balance I'm going to have to work on, because sometimes when I talk about the bad stuff, I feel like it can consume me a little bit. We'll work on it together. Can anyone else relate to me on that? I would love to know, because I feel like the last couple of years have just been a bit funky. Does anyone else feel that way? And I told my agent today, who like helps me with like brand deals and sponsorships and things. She asked me how I was and I was like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just getting ready to film again. I'm just like trying to like hype myself up because I just feel really weird after like New Year's. She was like, honestly, I've heard that from so many people. You're not alone. So I think, yeah, a lot of people are just feeling perhaps also like a bit of the pressure of New Year's and people being like, what are your New Year's resolutions? And it's almost like this like feeling of forcing people to not change, but like you're always expected to like change and be better, which is probably something that should like come from within and not really from like a date on a calendar and like people asking. I guess like for me, I see so many people on social media like posting their New Year's resolutions and visions and stuff like that, which is good for them, but like it makes me doubt myself. I'm like, am I like setting enough goals for myself? Am I like doing this and that for myself? I don't know. I just start like overthinking everything. I think I'm a big overthinker. I always had anxiety and stuff like that. I dealt with like a lot during my wedding planning and like back when I used to be at uni, and like I've had like moments of my life that have been worse than others, but since being a mum I feel like it's just been always like heightened anxiety, and I think it's natural. Like I'm just all of a sudden like so responsible for another human being, and the anxiety can like, I don't know, it's like I'm always just thinking about stuff and worried about stuff and worried about the future and stuff like that. I never used to worry about my future so much, but now I'm always thinking about my future. And so like I guess New Year's can be a little bit like triggering if you're kind of like me. Do you guys agree? Do you see where I'm coming from? Like I might contour a little bit. It's just I really don't know how to describe the way I feel. It's such, oh, it's weird. I'm using these, by the way. I'll link everything below because I don't think I'm really like showing the products very well, but I guess if you're like me and you find the whole New Year's chat like very triggering, I think focus on something that you did last year that you were really proud of. It could be anything. It could be reading more regularly. It could be getting into gardening. It could be getting into like a certain type of exercise. It could be something to do with your self-care or self-love. And instead of adding something new into the mix that, you know, if that feels like a bit too much, but you feel like everyone expects, like, how about just continuing a good habit or continuing something that makes you feel good? Just think of it in that way. Like, just be proud of yourself for doing something. Like, it doesn't have to be a whole new thing. You shouldn't be having to think of new goals and new this and that if that's not what makes you feel good in that moment. Because that's like me. I don't know what my goals are right now, like, necessarily. Like I said, survival. In business, in life, just survive. Like that's a bit boring and full on, right? Deep down, my real New Year's resolution is to try and like get into that workout routine. But once again, like I'm scared to set that as a goal because it always gets disrupted. I used to be able to do a workout routine, you know, because I wasn't sick as much, or like if I was, it was easy enough to get back into it, whereas I just have so many excuses now, and it's like I almost don't want to set a goal because I don't want to like disappoint myself or something. I've actually been really good, you know, I've got the treadmill now, I've got the weights set up now, so keeping up with that would be nice. So that's kind of like a goal, but just a goal I don't want to like put too much pressure on myself, because for me the main thing is like making sure that I'm eating nutritiously. Is that even a word? Because that helps me sleep better and it helps me have energy throughout the day to just do mum things. And so the exercise is a bonus and it does make me feel so much better, and that's why like I like doing it. And it'd be nice to lose some weight as well, but honestly I feel like there's so much going on with my body that it's just like the last thing that will fall into place when I sort everything else out, I think. Does that make sense? I don't know. It's a wild journey postpartum. Porter's 2.5 now. And I feel like I'm only just starting to actually properly be my own person again and like feel like I've recovered with my body. But even then my body's changed so much. Like when was I saying, like I feel like I'm so much more flexible now, and it's weird, and I can't get comfortable unless I'm like sleeping in weird positions and just all sorts of weird stuff like that. I'm constantly just trying to figure myself out all over again. Like I feel like I'm going through a second puberty. I'm gonna mix in some of this, whoops, this blush. I'm loving how my skin looks. It looks so much smoother. My under eyes are wrinkly as though. I think that powder like is a little bit heavy under my eyes, but it looks so smooth that I kind of don't care. I'll just put eyeshadow on top of the wrinkles. So yeah, basically to break it down to you, if you also feel overwhelmed, pressured, and all of those kind of feelings around a new year starting You are not alone. I feel ridiculously that way. Very full on. But like I said, already just doing this and getting back into my routine is making me feel so much better. So maybe that's the key for me. Maybe it's just my routine. I'm probably also like a little bit burnt out because I've been around so many people, and I also like dog sat for my mum, and she was so anxious, the poor little thing, and you know, she missed my mum. She was following me around like crazy. I'm just so not used to a dog doing that. Like Louis cuddles me and like wants to hang out with me, but she would literally follow my every step. I'd go to the toilet, she'd be there at my ankles. Like she was like glued to me for like a week, and oh my gosh, like I feel like I was burnt out from that even. I think I've learned from being a mum in the last few years that I am not a touch person. I will give people a hug sometimes, but I am not like an initiator. Does that make sense? Like I'll hug my friends sometimes, but we're not like huge huggers. Obviously I love touch with Hamish, but only if I'm in the mood. Like if I have a day where Porter's been extra clingy and the dogs have been clingy, or like whatever the case may be, and Hamish wants to hug me, I'm like, I can't. I just need like to not touch anyone now. Like when I get in bed, I'm like, no one touch me. No dogs, no humans, just me, myself, and I. Has anyone else ever found that? That's so random, but honestly, I get so touched out. I think my love language is words of affirmation. I've discovered recently. I love like words of encouragement. If I cook something, I like feedback. If people don't say anything, I'm like, they hate it. Maybe that's why I love like YouTube so much, because I like the feedback. I like the comments and stuff, and like talking to you guys. It's like, I don't know, that's what fuels me as a person. That sounds so narcissistic. And I think sometimes maybe that's why I found like the newborn stage so tough. This is very vulnerable of me because I feel like people think I'm a monster. Like I obviously loved holding my baby, but also like I found it quite overwhelming sometimes, especially if he was like upset, crying or whatever. And it was fine. I don't know how to like put this. I actually enjoyed it, but it like also made me feel like very, not drained, that's the wrong word. Like it didn't recharge me by any means. Now though, Porter is like quite, I feel like he's a little bit like me. Like a lot of the ways he's like playing with his little friends and stuff, like I see so many similarities from like when I was little. I have a very good memory of my childhood, and like I even sent my cousin a video. I was like, he's just like me, and she totally agreed. I'm using this Be Perfect palette. I don't think I've ever used it. It's the Muted, and I'm using Flat. So now that like Porter's older, I love the cuddles because they're few and far in between, and now I like, yeah, it does recharge me now. But like I say, if there's a day where he's like really sick and he's on me all day, like by the end of the day I'm touched out. That's a better way to put it. Like I still enjoy human connection, but I'm not the type of person to sit there and like cuddle all day. So I think that's the difference. And so like I'm using the color next to it now, which is called Rhythm. It's a little bit more peachy. I don't even know what I'm doing right now. I feel like none of these are showing up on my complexion. I'm just gonna keep going into darker eyeshadows until something happens. I think after New Year's and being around so many people, and people were coming in and out, I was looking after my mum's dog, we had like guests a lot, I saw lots of people I haven't seen in a long time. It was just like a lot for my nervous system. And I feel like I just got a bit burnt out from being around so many people and looking after so many animals and looking after Porter, and maybe that's part of the reason I feel the way I do. I don't even know like what I'm talking about in this video. This is not what I planned on talking about, but maybe some of you will relate. But yeah, like, okay, today though, Porter hopped up. He's like going through his like wrestling stage, like jumping from the couch and launching himself onto me. So that's fun. Today, like he was doing that, but then he stopped and he rolled over and he lay there in my arms and he was like, "Aw," it's like his new thing. He goes, "Aw, cute." But he said, "Aw," and then he touched my face and he went, "Beautiful." I was like, I'm gonna cry thinking about it. I don't even think he knows what that means because I say it to him. I'm like, "You are beautiful." I feel like I'm just, I don't want to ruin my makeup. I literally just think I'm emotional about that because of how I'm feeling right now. You just feel so much like love. So maybe I do like a little bit of physical touch, but you know what I mean? Like just not too much. Yeah, I just thought it was such a sweet little moment. Just his sweet little face, and like I said, he never does that. He never just like stops and like cuddles with me. Unless he's like sick. It was so cute. Just using a cooler tone shade now to carve out my crease more. So I really do think actually after today, I think I'm gonna literally feel brand new again. Like recharged and ready to take on the year. I don't know, maybe I just need a bit of change in some aspect of my life. Like, it's funny because I don't really like change, could you tell? But at the same time, I don't know where I'm at. Hamish and I really want to try doing some camping with Porter when he gets a little bit older. I'm really looking forward to that. We want to try and do some kind of holiday with him at some stage. Looking forward to that too. Maybe just like an Australia trip or something. But yeah, I think because I just don't know where I'm at with myself, and I think that's why New Year's feels weird. I'm just gonna use the shade Riff. It's like a copper. Oh my god, these are not working. Do I need to use my finger? It's a very fine shimmer. So let me know actually what kind of content you guys want to see me put out this year. I think part of my anxiety and sadness in life comes from not being able to work as much as I want to. I definitely have learned that I love working because I love my job. I'm sure that makes it much easier for me to love working. I think because I have done this job for so many years and I've been so productive for so many years, and then since having a child, naturally I haven't been able to be as productive. I think it affects me mentally very badly, honestly. Like, I think it's something I've struggled with since being a mum, and I still struggle with. This colour is not very, like, I don't know. It's like going on my finger, but it won't transfer onto my eyelid. I don't know what's happening. Anyways, yeah. I think that's like one thing that really affects me mentally, because I always set myself these big, huge goals when it comes to like getting work done, and I can't achieve everything. You know, I've got a business as well. I kind of hate my eye makeup. It's kind of ugly. I'm gonna put on some pink glitter. This is a Flower Nose one, shade 5. Like, I keep wanting to be more productive and more this and more that when it comes to my work, but then certain things happen, and I obviously am a mother first. This colour does not go with copper whatsoever, but I'm just trying to, like, I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't think I'm going to do my makeup ins and outs in this video anymore because I've just yapped way too much about myself. I don't even know if this is like a good video or if like this has just been painful to listen to. I'm sorry. I'm going to add more on the inner corner so it's like opaque. You know, like, I didn't like these as liquid eyeshadow. They market them as liquid eyeshadow. I did a review about them and I was so disappointed, but I loved them just for glitter. They had just called it a liquid glitter, we wouldn't have a problem. I guess that's another thing for me to say is, like, I always say this, and I said this last year as well, I need to give myself more grace. Everyone should give themselves more grace. The world is really effed up. It's really difficult. Everything is hard and lots of things suck. We are fed too much information day to day just through social media and stuff. We are exposed to so much. There's just so much happening everywhere. We just need to be more gentle, more graceful. I need to realize I can't do everything, but it just pisses me off. I want to be so much more active everywhere. I want to be still doing my live streams. I want to be doing 3 vlogs a week. I want to be doing 3 YouTube videos a week. I want to be doing lots of posts on Instagram. I haven't even posted on my friggin' Instagram feed, because what happens is I get stuck in this mindset where I'm like, I want to be productive, and it almost backfires, and then all of a sudden I'm like, nothing's good enough. Like, my content's not good enough. Like, this photo's not good enough to post, this, that, this. Like, I get in my head. So I need to get over myself, honestly. I'm gonna use this. I haven't used it in ages. Sometimes I think I need to do therapy, but I like also really don't like the idea of therapy. This is my toxic trait about myself. Like, sometimes I think I need to like talk to someone that's not just the internet. But I also hate the idea of that, low-key. I think I just, yeah. Let's just say I think I need to like look after myself this year, be gentle on my brain, and continue on my healthy food journey and try to move my body as much as I can when I can. I actually like move my body a lot day to day compared to what I used to. Ever since I got my walking pad, that's been such a game changer. I love my walking pad. Highly recommend. I literally walk on it the whole time I edit. So, you know, like 3 hours a day and stuff like that when I'm doing emails, when I'm doing so beauty stuff, like whatever the case is, like I'm spending time walking. And then I've got my actual treadmill, which I do like power walking and uphill incline power walking. So I think just continuing that and then adding in some more like strenuous stuff as well. Like I said, Hamish and I have been going on a lot of walks with the nicer weather with Porter, so continuing that. We actually on the Boxing Day sales got ourselves a pair of hiking boots, because there's a lot of like just chill bush walks around our house, but it can get kind of slippery, and we just had like old, like literally I've got like my old Adidas NMDs or whatever they're called from like 8 years ago. They've got like no grip, and so especially when Porter wants to be carried, like, yeah. So we decided just to get some like entry-level hiking boots so that we can kind of go on bigger walks too, because Porter loves going for walks. It's so nice. I love going on walks. I love being in nature, and that's why I kind of want to try camping. If you'd asked me 4 years ago, 5 years ago, I would have said absolutely not. But the idea of camping excites me a lot. I've changed a lot in the last few years since becoming a mum in terms of like just loving being outdoors in nature, being amongst the dirt, being amongst plants, and yeah, just having fresh air and grounding myself. Like, it's a lot of, I don't know, it's a lot of things that I take seriously now. I think it's important, you know, for health. So yeah, we did that. Got some hiking stuff from Kathmandu. They were pretty cheap. I got like $100 pair, I think. So I think that's a really good deal. They were on special, and Hamish's I think were like 160 or so. So yeah, pretty happy with those prices, because I was like, I'm not spending crap loads. I'm not, you know, yeah, just in case I barely wear them. But yeah, my goal is to wear them and carry on with that. And I think that's a nice form of exercise for myself too, because it's something I can do with Porter. Whereas if I'm doing weight training and stuff, I don't want him around for safety reasons. I genuinely feel like this video has been so boring, and I really apologize. I think I need a new mascara. This one is getting used up. How pretty is that eyeliner color? I love it. Whoops, I just got that everywhere. I'll clean it up once it's dry. I don't want to wear falsies today because my lashes have low-key been absolutely slapping. I've been very religious with my lash serum, and my natural lashes are just looking so good. You know, when you've been like using a lash serum and when you're washing your face and stuff, you can literally feel how strong your lashes are. Like, they feel thicker. It's honestly so satisfying. So yeah, if you want to share your New Year's resolution below, I would love to hear. And if you don't want to, it's totally fine as well. And if you don't have a New Year's resolution, who cares? Like I said, if you feel like it's just too much, like, I totally agree. And I think talking to you guys, I've kind of worked through mine a little bit, because I've thought of a lot of things during this video that I haven't actually thought about on my own. My lashes on this eye are so much better than this eye. Why does that happen? Like, I swear, same with my brow. Like, my eyebrows look not even related right now. All right, it's time for me to wrap up this makeup. Let's do lips. I feel like doing an old school expired lip. The lip liner is not expired, you can still get this. I love this color, it's wifey. And it needs a sharpen. And then an expired MAC lipstick. This is probably gonna give me friggin', it smells like plastic. I don't even care. This is Plain Koi. I just felt like using it for nostalgia. I got this years and years and years ago. One of my American YouTube friends back then got this for me and shipped it to me, and I'll never get rid of it. It is the most amazing like pastel pink. Maybe I should like replicate this for my brand. It's the most perfect baby pink. And every now and then I just need to do like a baby pink lip for my soul, okay? Oh my god, I love it. So I'm thinking my next YouTube video will probably be my yearly favorites. If you guys are still interested in seeing that, I might just do like a chatty get ready with me while I show you the products. Do you prefer that, or do you prefer like just me showing the products and talking about them and swatching them? And I also, like I said, I've got another packaging video. You guys seem to be enjoying them. I've got purple. Literally, look. I've literally like organized it all. So yeah, I am actually quite excited to film that. And then what else? PR hauls, we could do them. Full faces of first impressions. I would love to actually do some new foundation first impressions. Are there any new foundations you guys want me to do a video on? I feel like not a lot lately has like really caught my eye. So if you have any that you guys are really interested in, please let me know, because I love filming foundation first impressions. Haven't done one in a little bit, so that'd be really fun. I really like how my makeup turned out today. I just needed like coverage, glam, and baby pink. Like, I needed it. Forgot to remove all the excess mascara, so I'm just gonna do that, and then I might just put some like nude in my waterline quickly as well. Honestly guys, I appreciate you all so much. I feel like I'd still be making these videos even if no one was watching, because they just make me happy. But the fact that so many of you guys still tune in after all this time is pretty insane to me. Like, it's actually crazy. As I always say, like, your support does not go unnoticed. I really appreciate you. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much. Here's to another year. Can't wait to see what this year brings. Hopefully some fun new opportunities and fun new content. I apologize deeply if this video was crap. I'm just speaking from my heart today. So it is what it is. Bye.